In the last several days, a swirl of online speculation about President Donald Trump's health has dominated headlines and thread after thread on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. A once quiet digital space has exploded with questions, memes, and competing claims about whether the former president is alive, well, or perhaps unwell. The chatter intensified after a hashtag that trended on the platform, #TrumpDead, drew attention from supporters and critics alike. In the midst of the online frenzy, the conservative New York Post published a weekend story with a definitive title, "President Trump is alive," and well after bizarre, false online speculation suggested he died. The outlet accompanied its piece with newly published photographs of the president, prompting immediate online debate about what the images showed and what they did not. This is not just about a photo or a headline. It's about how rumors spread in the current media ecosystem, how public figures' health is interpreted in real time by millions, and how political narratives can be shaped by who speaks first, and how those voices are amplified online. Tonight, we'll unpack what happened, who weighed in, and what it all means for public discourse, media responsibility, and the health transparency expectations surrounding high-profile political figures. To begin, the sequence is straightforward on the surface, but it's layered in interpretation. After X users circulated rumors about Trump's health, a broader conversation emerged about his visibility in public appearances and on social media. It's not unusual for former presidents or presidential candidates to be the subject of online chatter about health, especially when they have not appeared at standard campaign or public events for a stretch of time. What makes this moment distinctive is the combination of a trending hashtag, a major conservative outlet publishing fresh photos, and a chorus of public commentary that blends humor, concern, and political provocation. The New York Post piece arrived over the weekend with a simple premise: the online chatter suggesting Trump had died is false. The article claims to set the record straight, while publishing new photos of the president. The juxtaposition, claims of death, then photos of him alive and well, provided a vivid, attention-grabbing arc for readers and social media users alike. The periodical's editors framed the piece as a corrective to misinformation, a move that quickly sparked additional online discussion about how images and headlines can be interpreted in conflicting ways. Reaction to the Post story and the broader rumor mill was swift and sharply divided on the right. One widely circulated line of skepticism came from Ron Filipkowski, a political commentator known for tracking online content and political rhetoric. He offered a direct, pointed assessment. He may be alive, but he's definitely not well. That phrasing captures a familiar online dynamic, acknowledging life while questioning health status in a single, memorable sentence designed to provoke further discussion. Across the conservative spectrum, other voices joined the conversation in different registers. George Conway, a well-known conservative attorney and a frequent critic of Donald Trump, brought a jolt of levity to the moment with a quip about President Vance, a hypothetical successor figure referenced in online discourse. His jest quickly prompted a retort from Norman Ornstein, a veteran political scientist, who responded in a way that underscored a broader tension: the idea of a future administration and a reminder that projections about health and leadership can collide with real-world political timelines. Ornstein's reply, noting that George, come on, the president is Russell Vought, leaned into a larger debate about who would be responsible for a transition or leadership in future scenarios. Another conservative voice weighed in with a practical question. Reed Galen asked, "Where's Donald?" The inquiry, blunt and straightforward, reflects a common instinct in competitive political environments. Visibility matters, and in the absence of public appearances, questions multiply quickly. Then Bridget Gabriel, a prominent conservative commentator, pushed back against what she described as a flood of social media speculation. Her remark, "It's sickening to see so many leftists on social media spreading false rumors about President Trump and his health," captured the fierce rhetoric that often accompanies debates over misinformation, media bias, and political loyalty. It's worth noting that Gabriel has a history of provocative commentary. In past discourse, she has been a controversial voice in debates about Biden's public health status when Biden was in office. The contrast between different leaders' health narratives, Trump now, Biden in earlier years, illustrates how health discussions can become a partisan theater, regardless of who is in office. And the online chorus didn't stop there. At least one popular liberal influencer suggested that the new photos showing Trump alive and well were actually from 2023. That claim, whether accurate or not, highlights a key issue in today's information environment. Images can be repurposed, recirculated, and misdated, further complicating the task of the audience trying to discern fact from fiction. What's happening here extends beyond a single story about a single individual. It's a case study in how information and misinformation propagates in the age of social platforms, where a single post can reach millions in minutes. It raises questions about media responsibility. When outlets publish additional photos tied to a rumor, what standards govern the framing of that material? When public figures or their supporters respond with jokes, as in the Vought reference, how should those moments be weighed in the broader narrative? And when a widely followed influencer implies a photo is from a prior year, what's the responsibility of fact-checkers and editors to verify the provenance of images before they're treated as evidence? These episodes reveal a few persistent dynamics in contemporary political dialogue. First, the speed and reach of online platforms mean rumors can outpace traditional reporting, even when reputable outlets push back with corrective pieces. Second, health status is a particularly sensitive and consequential topic in politics because it intersects with questions of fitness to lead and the long-term viability of a presidency or campaign. Third, the cadence of this debate, humor, alarm, and accusation, serves a broader purpose. It can mobilize base supporters, energize commentators, and shape audience perceptions ahead of important events, including fundraising, rallies, or policy debates. To help us understand how such rumors gain traction and what they mean in terms of public understanding, we turn to experts in health communication, media literacy, and political psychology. Health communication specialists often caution that people look for signals of vitality and capability in public appearances and in the tone, energy, and demeanor captured in photographs and videos. However, they stress that health status cannot be responsibly determined from images or momentary expressions. Political scientists emphasize the role of framing, how a story is presented, and the way social media algorithms amplify sensational content. Journalistic standards advocates remind audiences to verify provenance and to distinguish between rumor, analysis, and reporting. Health rumors about political figures are not new, though the platform and speed of modern rumor mills create a different scale of impact. In past decades, episodes involving public figures and questions about health have sometimes influenced public perception of leadership strength, readiness, and trust. The current moment, driven by a mix of conservative media outlets, partisan commentators, and a broad social media audience, illustrates how a simple question about health can become a proxy for larger debates about leadership, succession, and political plans moving forward. The immediate question for viewers is not only about Trump's health status, but about what the public should expect from leaders and their teams when official information is scarce or delayed. So far, there has been no formal confirmation from the Trump campaign or the White House about specific health details in connection with these online rumors and photos. The absence of an official health update in the midst of online speculation often tends to intensify attention on unverified images and personal commentary. In the absence of a clear, authoritative statement, many voters and observers rely on public appearances, offhand remarks, or the scrutiny of media outlets that attempt to verify the authenticity of photographs and the chronology of when they were taken. What does this mean for voters? For some, this may reinforce the perception that information in the digital space is unreliable or fragmented, prompting heightened skepticism about what they read and see. For others, the issue may become a shorthand for broader concerns about fitness for office, transparency, and accountability. The risk is a cycle in which rumors feed counter-rumors, and each new post or quote becomes fuel for another wave of online engagement, regardless of the factual basis. Moving forward, there are several elements to monitor that could shape how this topic unfolds. First, any official health briefings or statements from Trump's team could recalibrate the conversation, shifting the narrative from rumor to verifiable information. Second, Additional reporting by reputable outlets that traces the provenance of photos and narratives could help separate fact from fiction and illuminate the timeline of events. Third, responses from political opponents, allies, and nonpartisan observers will likely continue to reflect the polarized media environment, with each side interpreting health updates through the lens of their broader political agendas. Experts in media literacy would likely remind audiences of a few best practices as this story develops. Verify the source of images and the date of publication. Beware of editing or cropping that could misrepresent a person's appearance, and distinguish between opinion, satire, or commentary and independent reporting. They might also emphasize cross-checking with multiple outlets and looking for direct statements from credible institutions before forming conclusions about someone's health. In a broader sense, health rumors about prominent political figures often raise questions about transparency in political life. The public's right to know is balanced against privacy concerns, and the dynamic where social media users share unverified content can complicate that balance. This is particularly relevant as campaigns and administrations weigh how to communicate health information to the public, how to handle the absence of a candidate at high-visibility events, and how platforms manage misinformation while preserving free expression. For newsrooms and commentators, this moment underscores the importance of careful sourcing, cautious language, and clear labeling of what is known versus what is speculation. It also highlights the need to provide context that helps audiences interpret images and headlines accurately, particularly when health is involved and when political stakes are high. As the conversation moves forward, viewers should expect a continued mix of official statements, media analysis, and social media reaction. The outcome may hinge on whether new information emerges that clarifies Trump's health status, or whether the cycle shifts to other political headlines before a conclusive update becomes available. In a rapidly evolving information environment, the best course remains patient, fact-based reporting paired with transparent corrections when errors or misinterpretations arise. We'll keep you updated as new information becomes available and as outlets provide additional context and verification. In the meantime, this episode serves as a reminder of how health, politics, and digital communication intersect in the modern era, where a single photograph, a single headline, or a single hashtag can ignite a nationwide conversation in a matter of minutes, and where the public's trust depends on the diligence of reporters, the clarity of messaging from political actors, and the critical eye of every reader and viewer.